Yeah, so now we're talking about snow this morning, coming off of a very spring-like day. We've had some wet spots freeze over through the overnight as temperatures tumbled. And let's not forget that we have a weather alert to bring you, a wind advisory until 3 o'clock this afternoon. That went into effect just over 4 hours ago. So winds will stay blustery today. Right now, as we look at Exact Track 4D, maybe a few very light flakes in portions of Livingston, northern Washtenaw County, but that is starting to dry out. We've already seen the dry out down into Lenawee, Monroe counties. But if you are joining us close to Metro Airport in Romulus, off towards Novi, close to 12 Oaks Mall, pushing up into Waterford and even into Lapeer, there could be more of a steady flurry coming through as this is pushing eastward. Widespread light snow from the city of Detroit up towards Sandusky and even farther east than Port Huron. So that system moving to the east is that low pressure system will be pushing to the northeast throughout the morning. So by mid-morning, we're seeing much improvement. But in the meantime, here's that drier air south of I-94. And as we zoom up to the metro area, widespread blue indicating some light snow and then some better conditions off towards Lansing now. So that's a look at Exact Track 4D. Let's go ahead and talk more about the road conditions, because whether the snow is sticking or the wet spots from yesterday's rain ended up freezing overnight, we have snowy to slick conditions mainly on surface streets because the freeways are pretty dry, but your driveway, sidewalks, or ramps, bridges, and overpasses will be a little slick this morning. So slow down your speeds. Plus, that you're going to feel your car shifting from the really strong winds. Sustained winds upward of 20 miles per hour out of the west-northwest. Current air temperature is 30 in Detroit, 26 in Ann Arbor, 24 in Pontiac. But it feels a whole lot colder. This is more than a 20-degree swing downward over the last 24 hours. And those wind gusts are exceeding 30 miles per hour. In fact, the 37-mile-per-hour wind gust right now in Pontiac. So that makes Pontiac feel like 9 degrees. 13 is the feels like temperature in Ann Arbor, 14 at Metro Airport. 12 in Lapeer. We were waking up in the 40s yesterday, topped out in the 50s. So that is a huge difference that you will notice along with those whipping winds. Wind advisory until 3 o'clock this afternoon for all of us across southeastern Michigan. So let's walk you through the wind gust forecast because we could see them pick up a little bit more before they get better. Still in that 40-mile-per-hour range between about 12:31. Now at 2 o'clock when that advisory is set to lift, we're still in the 30-mile-per-hour range. We don't really see the improvement until we get in the overnight and tomorrow, where we will not have as blustery conditions. Hourly forecast today, 37. That's even a little misleading. It'll feel at least 10 degrees colder with the wind chill throughout the day. So we won't feel like we get out of the 20s, but we get some sunshine working in later today. Walking you through the timeline here, you'll see those clouds begin to break by 4 or 5 o'clock. And then we'll have a little more clearing tonight with a few more clouds rolling in after midnight that could produce a few little light flakes, very isolated and scattered, nothing prominent. What will be more prominent in coverage and intensity will be this wintry mix late Friday. So late afternoon into the evening. Rain, snow pushing through the area. Now looking like that could lift as far north as maybe M59, but certainly 696 southward, likely dealing with a mix late on Friday. We rebound to 40 Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds, warming up to 47 Sunday. We spring forward with those clocks, so we lose an hour of sleep this weekend, but don't fret because we're warming things up. We're springing those temperatures forward into the 60s by the middle of next week. Well, we have a forewarned weather alert to bring you this morning due to some icy patches on the roads. We had tumbling temperatures throughout the overnight, some light flurries pushing across the area, just the perfect ingredients for a few slick spots to develop. And so we're going to check in with Darnell in a few minutes because that has been an issue on the roads. In the meantime, though, we're definitely seeing improvement as that low pressure pushes off to the northeast. We're starting to peel back some of that snow. So off to our west or south, we're drying things out. As far as where the snow is at this hour, kind of travel along I-75 and push northeast. That's where you'll see a few of those flakes fly. Otherwise, we'll just have the overcast skies to contend with until this afternoon, where some sunshine will actually work its way in. So 29 degrees in the city, 26 in Ann Arbor, 24 in Pontiac. Sustained winds, though, from about 14 to 22 miles per hour and gusting upward of that. It's a west-northwesterly flow, so it is putting a bite in the air, not just ushering in a cooler air mass, but definitely giving us feels like temperatures below the actual air temp. The 24-hour temperature change, check this out, 24 degrees colder right now at Metro Airport than where we were at this time yesterday morning. And that's not factoring in the overall difference of what it feels like. So those wind gusts are in the 30-mile-per-hour range for most folks across southeastern Michigan, making it feel like 10 in Pontiac and Sandusky, 12 off in Ann Arbor, 11 in Howell, 16 at Metro, and 14 down into Monroe. That wind will be sticking around for a while. In fact, we're holding on to a wind advisory for all of southeastern Michigan until 3 o'clock this afternoon. So just know that within that time frame, we could see those gusts reach about 40 to 45 miles miles per hour. So walking you through the timeline here, I'm stopping the clock between 12:30, 1 o'clock, and that's where I think we start to see those peak wind gusts around 40 miles per hour. So they will taper off a hair once that advisory lifts at 2, but we're still in the 30 mile per hour range. It's still a northwesterly flow, so just anticipate it's going to be a blustery day altogether. Wind gusts die down as we head into tonight and tomorrow, so you'll notice that difference tomorrow. In the meantime, 37 will be our afternoon high today. That's a hair misleading because with those winds sticking around, it's going to feel more like 27 degrees. So throughout the day, it'll feel about 10 degrees colder with the wind chill. Walking you through the timeline here, we spend the rest of the day rather dry. In fact, by 5 o'clock, you start to see a few breaks in the clouds giving way to some sun. Now tonight, after midnight, going into the pre-dawn hours tomorrow, there might be a couple little light flurries that are scattered, spotty, that roll through the area. But as far as Friday precipitation, the bulk of this doesn't arrive until closer to sunset. This now looking like it could lift as far north as about M59, but it will be likely a rain-snow mix given that temperatures will be sliding below the freezing mark. We top out at 37 tomorrow, but we'll be sliding into the 20s Friday night and Saturday morning. We're back to a seasonal 40 on Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds. Remember, you change those clocks Saturday night before you go to bed. Springing forward Sunday, we lose that hour of sleep, but 47 for the afternoon high, and then we're really cranking up those temperatures. 55 by Monday, and we get into the 60s by the middle of next week. So a nice taste of spring next week, but we have to get past what has been a very winter-like morning.